Hi! Now that we have created our malicious APK file, next thing to do is actually we're going to send it to the victim, but once they click on it, once they run this file, we will get the connection. So before we do that, we need to be prepared, we need to be ready for this connection. And the way to do that is to listen for incoming connections on our Kali Linux. So whenever you want to hack into some computer or some device, you should listen for connections. So that's how you get a session out of this hacking. Okay, luckily we have a tool embedded in Kali Linux for that. As you can see, my ngrok is still working on one of the tabs, and I'm not going to close this down because it will kill the service. Okay, I'm going to leave this as it is, and this will forward me to the connection. Once the victim clicks on the APK file on their Android device, it will forward the connection to the ngrok, and then ngrok to me. And I should be prepared for this, so I'm going to run this command: service PostgreSQL or SQL, however you may want to pronounce it, and start. So this will start a database service called PostgreSQL, and the reason why I'm starting this is because I'm going to use something called Metasploit. Okay, Metasploit uses this as its database. A Metasploit is a tool commonly used in penetration testings. So you can write MSF console and hit enter in order to start Metasploit. So with Metasploit, we can actually listen for incoming connections. We can find a lot of exploits that can work on some of the vulnerabilities that are commonly found in servers or computers. We are not interested in servers or computers in this course, but we are interested in telephones and tablets or mobile devices. But we can use the listening feature of the Metasploit as well in order to receive this session. So after you run MSF console, you will see a screen like this where you will see the MSF console. Okay, that's how you write commands inside of Metasploit. Once you see that, you can just begin typing MSF or Metasploit commands. It's fairly easy to use actually. As you can see, we have a lot of payloads, a lot of exploits embedded in Metasploit as well. But we are particularly interested in a module called multi-handler. So this module exactly does what it sounds like. It's a multi-handler, multi-purpose handler. We can use it to listen for incoming connections. And in order to do that, I'm going to write this: use exploit / multi / handler. Okay, this is how you specify the modules inside of MSF, inside of Metasploit. So we are interested in this multi-handler module. So once you hit enter, it will enter into this module, and then you can see the options and features of the specific module. So first thing to do is to set the payload to the exact payload that you have written before. Because as I have said before, you can create many backdoors for Windows or Linux or Android and other operating systems as well. Since we have used Android, I'm going to do the same thing over here as well. So I'm going to say set payload, and then I'm going to write the exact notation, exact same syntax that we have written down before, which is Android / meterpreter / reverse _ TCP, and this is reverse _ TCP. Once I write that, I will hit enter, and as you can see, it has already assigned payload to be this way. So when I say show options, it will show me the options of that specific payload and specific handler. So we have to specify the lhost and lport. But this time it's going to be a little bit different than before, because as you can see, we have specified this to the backdoor, because this is where we will receive the backdoor's incoming connection, but also in Kali Linux we will receive the connection in the local host and in this port. So this time I'm going to go for local host, which is 0000, and for the port I'm going to use 4242. So don't get confused over here. We have used the left hand side in the backdoor and we are using the right hand side in the listener part. So in order to set a value over here, you have to say set the value name and the value itself, like set lhost and set lport 4242, like this. Okay? Once you do that, you can say show options and you will see the input that you have given is already over here. So now we are ready to be listening for incoming connections. So since this is a payload or exploit kind of tool, we have to say exploit in order to start for listening, and I will add this -J and -Z in order to listen to this in the background. So this will be running in the background, but this will not lock our terminal, so we will get notified once we have the connection back from ngrok, and we can just interact with the session. Okay, so right now all I have to do is just transfer this ngrok test.apk to the victim machine. So there are a lot of ways to do that actually. You can just send it through the WhatsApp, you can just send it through with email, you can just find a lot of different ways to transmit this. Maybe you can just upload this to a server or upload this to any kind of file transfer website and ask victim to open this. So it goes like this. You just email someone, hackers actually, malicious hackers, bad hackers, email people and say that, yeah, we have this kind of tweaked game, you can do cheatings with this APK if you want, and they download it and they click it and then they get hacked, obviously. And the way to do that is actually find a file transfer service which is commonly available on the internet, but I'm going to go for files.fm, which is essentially something like vtransfer.com, but APK files can be blocked in some of the services, but I found out that files.fm actually allows transferring .apk files, so maybe you can try that. But if you cannot make it work, you can always try other services as well, or you can try to email or send it through any other communication channels. So as you can see, I have uploaded my file and it has given me a link. So the next thing to do is actually sending this link to the victim, but as a demonstration purpose, I'm going to go for my local machine, which is my host machine, my Mac, and I'm going to try and see if I can download this file to my Mac. Okay, I suggest you do the same because we are not done here actually. We're going to need one more step before we send this link, exact link, to the victim. We have to sign this APK as well before we send it. I'm going to explain what this is, don't worry. And here you go. I believe we have managed to download it. And here you go, our APK file. So one last thing to go before we make this happen, and that is signing. We're going to do that within the next lecture.